And we're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Chess League TV. We're going to be going over a game that I played last night that was very, very interesting. Really wild sort of pieces hanging everywhere positioned. And those are always fun. And then we'll be doing some solving some tactics. Gotta solve. Always, always, always gotta solve. Seems my stream is not going live here. Oh, I forgot to update my title. Game review and tactics. That's not how you spell that. Title is updated. We're gonna wait a couple minutes, see if we get any viewers. A little bit of a weird time that I'm streaming, 2 o'clock on a Friday, but when the mood strikes, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. All right. What are those strange sounds? Me singing? Me getting in my chair? I don't know. Me closing the door? All possible. By singing, I mean humming. All right, let's get started. So this was a game I played last night. Oh, it might be the people upstairs. They're kind of noisy. Sometimes I feel like there's elephants above me, but you know, it is what it is. So this was a game I played last night. It was very exciting. I was playing versus a low expert, so he's rated like 2070-ish. He's about the same age as me. We're actually friends now because I've just been seeing him a lot. This is the first time I've ever played him though, and it was a fun one. Hello, Wasabi. How are you doing? Nice emoji there. Fun run. Didn't know that one. So yeah, this was a fun game because everything was hanging everywhere on like move 10, and it was very complicated. And those games are fun because there's a lot of stuff to work out. So my opponent played d4, and I play this move order. The reason I play this move order is if knight c3, I can play the Nimzo, and if knight f3, then I can play the Queen's Gambit with a less threatening exchange variation, because if black goes for example, here, then the exchange variation is considered less threatening with the knight on f3. I know, right? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes, like, sometimes you gotta throw down. If your opponent sticks it to you, you gotta take the challenge, or else you're just worse. So sometimes you just have to step up to the plate and like deal with a complicated position, because if you don't, your opponent will just be better. And that's sort of what happened to this game. Although I went a little crazy, but it happens. So I should flip the board because I had black. So we got a Nimzo Indian. If my opponent plays knight f3, here I go d5 and I play. Actually, I usually don't play a Queen's Gambit. I'll play. I've started playing this Rogozin, which is interesting. Although I need to learn more about it because the only game I played it, I got demolished. But here we had a Nimzo. My opponent plays e3, which is a normal move. I play b6, and my opponent plays knight e2, and this is a normal idea. And the point is, white is defending his knight, so he's going to play a3, and when I take, he's going to take back with the knight, and then he doesn't have double pawns, so he just has the two bishops. So black needs to really get something going kind of quickly, or else white just gets the two bishops. Although I will say that oftentimes in these lines, this bishop doesn't turn out a great piece, because there's a lot of pawns on dark squares. So a lot of times in these lines, it comes down to, can white deal with this piece? Can white find a job for this piece? Here I play a bit of a weird line. It's funny because I have trouble remembering this line for some reason. So I know this move by heart, but sometimes I get just awful positions because I forget what I'm supposed to do. So here I play bishop a6, and the point is you pressurize c4, and we'll see the idea in a second here. White plays a3, which is white's continuing his idea. It makes a lot of sense. Takes. And here we see the point of bishop a6. Black goes d5. And it's funny because sometimes I have trouble remembering this slide, and I'll do stupid things like castling, and then white is just better because white can go like e4 or something. Maybe not e4, but something like bishop e2, and now white's just better. I'm glad that this game I actually remembered my preparation and played d5, because sometimes I don't remember my preparation and then I just get terrible positions. So I went d5. And the main move here is b3, just supporting this pawn. And we get some normal position after like castles, bishop e2, and I think here, if I remember what I'm supposed to do, I take and play knight c6, and I'm going to play knight a5 and just try and really put pressure on that pawn. And that's a normal position. White's a little bit better, but black has active piece play, he has counterplay, so this is a decent position. But after d5, again, my opponent played a sideline. He played queen f3. Hola, Marta. ¿Cómo estás? So yeah, after queen f3, white is... he's indicating he wants to play a sharp game. And the point is he's tactically defending his c-pawn by x-raying the rook in the corner. Estoy bien. So the position gets sharp very quickly here because white chooses a sharp line. And here I went into like a 15-minute thing because I couldn't remember what I was supposed to do here. And I came up with one of the book moves. There's two moves you can play here. So, un poquito. Mi español es malo. So let's take a moment. I'm going to ask the chat. I think there are two reasonable moves here. What would you play as black? This is our first puzzle of the day. What should black play here? Castles being suggested. No soy latino. Soy estadounidense. What else? Bishop b7. What else? c6. Yeah, so castles is absolutely a book move, and here you actually you can't take this, I don't think. What was I looking at here? There's some reason why you can't take this. Oh yeah, if you take on f1, this capture discovers an attack on the rook. Very annoying. And also the knight can barely move. So this would be bad. But after captures, you can just take back. White should take on a6, knight a6, and this is a normal position. So yeah, this is a very normal position. Black is doing okay here because of, again, white has a bishop, but it's a terrible bishop. So black is fine in this position. This knight's not great, but we'll play c6, put the knight on c7. This knight can show up on e4. So black has good play in this position. So castle is a good move. Bishop b7, I'm not a huge fan of, and the reason is you give up the pressure on this diagonal. So, and also another thing is after bishop b7, this bishop is unprotected, so you're not threatening to take with a discovered attack because it's not a discovered attack; it just loses a piece. So I think here white can go bishop e2, and white is incredibly comfortable. Black has given up the pressure. And I think white's going to castle and play e4 very quickly. So, yeah, I'm not... Actually, maybe bishop d3 is more accurate to prepare e4. And I think white is just better here. I don't like this move. White is just better. Because here already e4 is coming. If you take here... I'll take this, you don't have time to take this, your rook is hanging. So, c5 is ambitious. c5 is definitely ambitious. Yeah, but if white gets e4, then this bishop is freed and white is just better. So I'm not a huge fan of bishop b7. And bishop b7 is not a book move, by the way. I looked it up. The other move is the move that I played, which is c6. And here my opponent can play b3, and we have a normal game. This would have been normal. Here I would castle, and just have a normal position. So c6 is a book move, which is what I played. I didn't know it was a book move, but it was what I came up with. I kept trying to make these moves work. Spoiler alert, they don't work. They just don't. So c6 here. The thing is, these moves work in slightly different positions, but not here. So I play c6. And again, my opponent can play b3 and have a normal position, but my opponent played cd5. And this is a very interesting position. So let me ask, what would you play for black here? This is our second question of the day. What would you play as black? A very interesting position we have on the board. CD? Bishop f1? I think these are the two obvious moves to consider. Knight d5, probably not good. We'll talk about why in just a second. So, yeah, I think first let's talk about knight d5. I don't like knight d5, and the reason is this allows white to play e4, which is his main strategic goal. Here, white is better. If white gets to play e4, white is better. So I do, if I'm going to take on d5, I do want to play take with a pawn. So knight d5, not great. cd5 is a totally normal position. After like takes, and here white is like a teeny bit better, but again, this piece is a problem. And if white ever wants to play e4, he'll end up with an isolated queen pawn. So black is doing fine here. If queen e2, I would actually play knight back to b8 to go to c6. But you gotta say, the possibility of bishop takes f1 is incredibly interesting. So this needs to be calculated. What will white play in this position? Because you can't play this move if you don't calculate it. DC, correct. D takes c6. And the threat is very clear. c7. Discovered attack. So this position is incredibly complicated. I'll give you a hint. I did play bishop f1. I spent probably 20 minutes here, and at the end I played bishop f1. And my opponent very quickly played dc6. If my opponent plays king takes f1, black is just much better. So white must accept the challenge here. If he doesn't play dc6, he's just much worse. And I had a point here. It might not be a good point, but I had a point. So what should black play in this position? There's going to be like a puzzle almost every move this game, because every move is critical. Queen c7 is a sensible move. I saw bishop a6. Bishop takes g2. Knight d5. Very interesting. I didn't even consider that. But that's an interesting move. Maybe I should have considered that. So, let's talk about these one at a time. Queen c7 is sensible. Here, I would say that black has some compensation for the pawn. I'm not convinced it's enough compensation for the pawn. Here, white can go things like g3, king g2, and I think white is better here. However, this might have been the best continuation. Here white is probably better. Not a full pawn better, but a little better. D takes c6. The next move I saw was bishop a6 with an knight b5 is winning. Knight b5 is not totally winning. I can play queen d7, and I'm okay. And next move I'll castle and I'll be fine. Bishop a6 is interesting with the idea of after c7, we're going to try and trap the queen. The problem here is it doesn't quite work because after playing bishop d7, this a7 pawn hangs because we cut the communication of our queen. And now the queen is actually going to find her way out somehow. This would not be good. White is winning in this position. Bishop takes g2, trying to sell this this piece for a pawn, I think is actually losing. Because the problem is, after queen g2, there's still this threat of c7, but the queen also suddenly pops up on the g7 pawn. So if you go, for example, queen c7 to stop the threat of c7, queen g2, and I think white is winning in this position. Castling, which I just saw is interesting. c7 takes, and this bishop has to come out. Here after, for example, bishop a6, I don't believe black has enough compensation for the exchange. Black cannot possibly have enough compensation for the exchange in this position. Knight c6 wins the queen. It might. Okay, so after castles, white will take this then. And this is sort of transposing to the previous, to the line queen c7, except white's not going to play knight b5. So after castles, takes queen c7, white can play probably, I think g3 is a good move. And here, again, I think white is better. So I don't think this is good. I played a very, very interesting move. Knight b5 is never good. We looked at this. What line was that? Oh, I've lost my lines. Castles, c7. Sorry, not c7. King f1, queen c7. Oh, knight b5 right here. Knight b5 here, I have this. I don't like this move, knight b5, because white needs to finish his development. Yeah, I mean, white's up a pawn, but white has some issues here. I would much rather, instead of playing knight b5, I'd much rather finish my development and go to g3. So here, I played a really, really interesting move. I don't know if it's good. In fact, I think it's not good. But it's incredibly interesting. I played the move bishop c4. This is a really interesting move. And the point is, okay, white is currently down a piece, so he must play c7. Queen takes c7. He must take the rook. And I put this bishop on c4 for a reason. What did I play here? What was my idea? Knight d5. Correct. My idea is knight d5. And this cuts the queen's diagonal. The queen's a little stuck here. And this knight is definitely unpalatable, because after knight takes d5, bishop takes d5, the queen is trapped, and black is winning. So I evaluated this as winning for black when I played this. However, in one of the lines, I missed a key point, and it's actually the case that white is winning in this position. White is winning, but it's very tricky. So white has an only move here. Who thinks they can find white's only move? E4 suggested. E4 is incredibly logical. It was played in the game, and it loses on the spot. E4 is completely and totally losing. This was a line that I fully calculated. E4, dead lost. B3 is winning for white. B3 is winning for white. And there's a couple points behind B3. B3 is a nasty move. B3 is really, really nasty. So B3 is basically telling the black bishop that the black bishop has two jobs. The black bishop is overworked. The black bishop is doing a very good job protecting the knight, but the black bishop is also doing a very good job protecting the b5 square. And if the black bishop moves, one of those is not going to be protected. So for example, if I take knight b5, and the queen's going to pop out on a7. Also, this knight, the queen has to move, and the knight is hanging, so an only move here is queen d8. And now after queen a7, black has some compensation. This king is not great. In fact, maybe bishop c4 is a good move here. So black has clear compensation here, but this should be better for white. However, after b3, I saw this move. It was not my intention to take this pawn. It was my intention to play bishop a6. And here's what I saw. I saw after takes, 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 queen c3 check. I think I evaluated this as winning for black. Because the point is, after king d1, you can take the rook in the corner, but that gets complicated very quickly after queen e5 check, hitting the knight. Something like king d7. But then your king's on d7, and maybe white has some sort of perpetual here. But instead of taking the knight or taking the rook, here black can actually play castles, which is very, very strong. With the point being, after rook a2, which is forced. It's the only way to protect the rook. If you go rook b1, there's this check. I'll take the rook. So after rook a2, I have rook c8, pieces hanging. And after bishop d2, there's queen d3. I'm threatening mate. The bishop is pinned. The only way to stop mate is to play rook d1. But then, or sorry, rook e1. But then your king is really, really stuck. Also, I have this move, winning the rook over here. Yes, Yellow Dragon, I'm aware. This was the tactical point that I missed. After bishop a6, I saw this position, knight takes, pawn takes, and I was like, oh, I automatically played queen takes for white, getting the queen out. But unfortunately, that move is not forced. White has this very nice move, bishop d2. And white is winning. I can't trap this queen. I would need one more move to trap the queen. Can I teach you everything I know in 2 minutes less or less? Play good moves, don't play bad moves. There you go, man. So yeah, bishop d2 and white's just winning. So that's why this whole line is it's just busted, because this shuts down the threats. I know, I'm amazing. You can thank me later. So this whole line is busted, but my opponent and all of you, yeah, don't lose. That's also good advice. My opponent, as well as all of you, thought that e4 was an only move. But I correctly evaluated that e4 is totally losing. However, I drew, so we'll see how I'm bad. I played knight c3, and my opponent played bishop e3, seeing that bc3 is hopeless. So let's figure this out. Why is bc3 hopeless? What does black play here? Why is this position just resignable? Bishop d5, hanging the bishop. Yeah, there we go. Bishop b5. The same idea, just don't give your bishop away. Castles is probably still winning, but Castles does allow some counterplay with d5. Now this is probably still winning, but the point is, if the knight moves, the queen can go to c6. But after bishop b5, there's just nothing, because there's a multi-threat. Bishop c6 and queen c3 are both threats. You're sort of obligated to play d5, but then takes, king d1 is an only move, and castles, and you can't save this rook. So this is just lost. Yeah, bishop b5 is a nice move there. Don't give away your pieces when you don't have to. Bishop d5 is interesting, and might not be losing. But here, like, I don't know, are you going to take this? After king d1, you don't want to take this rook. I'm taking this knight. That's not clear at all. So don't give away your pieces when you don't have to. Play bishop b5. That's good advice. Write that one down. Don't sack your pieces when you don't have to. Bishop b5, double threat. White is lost. So instead of that, my opponent played bishop e3. And here, kind of everything wins. The move I played wins, but it's not the best move. So I wonder, let's ask the chat, what's the best move in this position? There's a lot of good moves. I think there's like 3 moves There's 3 or 4 moves that totally win, but one of them's the best. What's the best move? Castles. Any other ideas? Knight e2. Knight takes e4. Giving away our knight for free. That seems good. And allowing the queen to come out. Bishop a6. So let's look at this. Castles is interesting. Castles is not the best move. It's totally winning. But it's very complicated. So, and I slightly misevaluated this position, but it's a very long forcing line. So I assume my opponent would play rook c1, which gives a heck of a lot of counterplay. Here, black should win the queen with knight c6. Takes, rook takes c3. And the problem here for black is that white is actually going to win one of these pieces on the c-file. You cannot save them both, which means that white will actually have sufficient material compensation for the queen. White will end up with 2 rooks for the queen. But there's a very concrete reason that this position is winning for black that was not at all apparent to me. So what is the line in this position that wins for black? It's really not obvious. Why is black winning here? I saw part of it, but I didn't see the whole way, which is typical for me. b5 is a good start. I'll play b3. And I'm still going to win one of your pieces. So if you thought you were going to save your pieces, you're not going to be correct. Queen a5, another good move. The rook is unprotected. And I saw here white had bishop d2. And here I stopped my calculation because I saw that white is getting the piece back. You cannot save both pieces. But there is a concrete reason why black is better here. In fact, black is winning, excuse me. Why is black winning? What should we play here to win? Not at all obvious. I've stumped the chat. We're all stumped. We have no idea. We have no idea why black is winning here. I didn't either. I don't blame you. It's really tricky. Shall I give us the line, or do we want more time to think? Yes, no, maybe so. Did everyone die? Did I die? It's possible. I've been known to die. Alright, I'll give us the line. Maybe my chat froze. Let me refresh. Yes, I think my chat was frozen. I fixed it. Queen A3 wins. Very good, Saj bot. Queen A3 is winning. Although it's not, it's still not obvious why. I'll take the piece. It's a discovered attack. And here, black has a really nasty move, Queen B2. Queen A1 check is not so clear after Rook C1. Or even Bishop C1, maybe. No, Rook C1, just kidding. This is still good. This is still good, but it's not the clearest thing the world's ever seen. But Queen B2 is a world-class move there. What line is this? I'm lost. Castles, King F8, Rook C3. Oh, what happened? Oh yeah, B5, B3. Yeah, Queen B2 is a really world-class move. And the point is, after, for example, knight takes D4, white can't move his pieces. White has a big problem here. White wants to castle, but then the bishop would be hanging. But if the bishop moves, the bishop is like pinned to mate on E2. So the problem is that white can't move any of his pieces. It's impossible to move all your pieces. And if you don't do anything, I'm going to take this pawn and really stop you from castling and threaten mate there. So this is just like really terrible for white. All his pieces are uncoordinated. He can never castle. This rook will never be a part of the game. So that's a concrete reason why this wins for black. But this is not at all obvious. So if you play castles, you have to see this position. And that's tough. I mean, it's not impossible, but I didn't see this. Another move that was suggested is knight e2. Knight e2 is the best move in the position. Congrats whoever suggested that. That was a really good suggestion. Knight e2 is absolutely the best move. And the point is, remember when we castled and white played rook c1? Well, after knight e2, you're not playing rook c1, and you're not castling, so your life sucks. It's like hard to suggest a move for white here. What should white play? White can't move. If white goes like b3, okay, that's a normal try. I'll go bishop b5. I'm threatening bishop c6. Now you have to go d5. And now I castle. And my threat is knight d7. And what do you do? What do you do? It's like sort of impossible to play. If you go a4, oh, this is a funny one, by the way. After a4, what's the best move for black here? This is a great move. Black is winning here. There's a really nice move for black. Hello, Archon. We're going over a crazy game I played last night. It's black to play and win in this position. Oh, yeah, queen c3 check wins on the spot. It's actually mate in some amount of moves. Because you go king d1, and I'll mate you somehow. Or I'll take your rook. That's good enough. But that's not the funniest move. The funniest move in this position is knight c6, confusing everyone. This is the funniest move. Queen c3 is the best move. This is the funniest move. After takes, you can take the bishop, and then I have knight e4, protecting my knight. And my knights protect each other on these ridiculous squares. So knight c6 is a funny move, but queen c3 check is totally winning. Yeah, knight e2 it's a knockout. I should also, so there's this interesting move, knight a4. This is a nice move, because if white goes rook c1, then I go b5. And if white goes b3, all of a sudden I've engineered a different queen trap with knight b6. Kind of funny. So after knight a4, white has to go b3, but then black can castle. Ridiculous. Because here, if you take either piece, you lose the queen. And on rook c1, preparing to take here, black can go knight b2, which means you can never play rook takes. Kind of ridiculous. Really cool lines in this position. So here after bishop e3, I played, I think, the second best move. We looked at castles, we looked at knight a4, we looked at knight e2. Knight e2 is the best move. I played a similar idea. It's a funny move. I played knight a2 with the same idea. I'm not going to let white play rook c1. Knight to a2. And yeah, it's tough for white to play. If white goes d5, for example, here I have bishop b5, and you can take this knight, but it won't end well for you. Say takes, just castles. I'm threatening the queen. I'm threatening queen c4 with a double threat. Yeah, you're in trouble here. You're in big trouble. Yeah, queen c4 is hard to stop. Good luck stopping that move. Maybe a4? Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening on a4. Maybe on a4 I just go bishop a6 and go queen c4 again. It's interesting. But yeah, this must be lost. b3 after queen c4. Not a move I saw. So say d5, bishop e5, rook a2, castles. I don't know, it's hard to suggest a move for white here. Maybe just b3 right away. No, but the problem is, anytime you play b3, all of a sudden this check opens up. So say white wastes a move, queen to c4, b3, there's this check. Is that anything? This might be annoying. Double threat again. Yeah, white has some problems. That's what happens when you don't get castled. So after knight a2, my opponent played correctly. What should white play here? What's the best move for white? My opponent played very resiliently. I'll give him that. He's totally lost, and I played bad to not win this game. But my opponent played very resiliently. I'll give you a hint as to the best move for white. White needs to find a way to not get mated. How can white not get mated? Hello, come on in. Come say hi. You look nice. This is Hannah. This is the lovely Hannah.
Hi.
Anyway, are you leaving?
Yeah, I don't think I'm in the camera.
No, there's a delay.
Oh.
There you are.
I am.
You're a star.
A star with no face.
You positioned your hair badly.
I love you.
I love you too. Have fun.
Thanks.
Are you gonna do exciting things?
I'm going to work.
Okay. Bye. Yeah, white can take on a2. But then he gives the exchange. White found a better way to do that. White played b3. And the point is, when I took on b3, which I should, white castled. So white gave a pawn back, but now all those lines where where white was getting mated, and now he's not getting mated. She was doing her own thing. Don't worry about it. So white castled. I castled, introducing the threat of any knight move. So my opponent played d5. Very logical. Let me ask, what would we play here? I think there's again many good moves, but what should be played here? There's two moves that stand out to me. Bishop c4. That's interesting. Hitting the rook. And after, say, rook e1, what's your idea after rook e1? Behind bishop c4. I think bishop c4 is actually good. It's not something I considered. But it's probably good. So the problem with putting the bishop on a6 and b7 is that doesn't actually trap the queen. Yeah, because, again, that a7 pawn hangs, which is really annoying. So, yeah, bishop c4 is interesting. Here you can go bishop b5, takes knight a6, with material compensation for the queen. So that probably works. Bishop c4, I think, is working. Also, Iago mentioned, after d5, bishop a4, which is very interesting and very similar. After rook a2, we go knight a6. And the queen is lost. The queen must sacrifice herself. And after rook c1, black can play really anything. Black is winning here. So bishop a4, and black wins by force, pretty much. Maybe this is a good move. Starting to put pressure on the pawns. Very annoyingly for white, white doesn't have access to this c2 square. Very unfortunate. So yeah, that would win. Also note, this is a cute one. Bishop a4, rook a2, knight a6. What should white play if white tries rook c1? Or sorry, what should black play if white tries rook c1? This is a cute one. Yeah, queen takes c1. It's a good move. With check, and then we grab this. Because the queen didn't have time to sacrifice itself on our rook. It's a nice move. So yeah, bishop a4 wins completely. But after d5, I played a simple and good move. E takes, e takes. And here, I played an okay move. But there's another move that just wins on the spot. So what move just immediately wins for black? There's a move that just ends the game, basically. And I don't blame myself too much for missing this. This is a tough one. But there is a move that just ends the game. Rook d8 is probably okay, but after rook d8, there's d6. And, okay, we can take that pawn, but the point of d6 is all of a sudden the queen's diagonal is opened. The queen is coming out. Knight c6. I assume you mean knight c3. Oh, did you mean knight c6? Maybe you meant knight c6. Yeah, you meant knight c3? Uh-huh. Okay, Iago, I'm sure. Yeah, knight c6, of course, blunders a piece. Knight c3 is what I played in the game. It's okay, but it's not game-ending. I want a game-ending move. After this move, white can resign. Think about that rook d8 variation. Think about why this rook d8 variation isn't working. It didn't work because of d6, freeing the queen. So queen d6 is a good try, but all of a sudden my queen pops out. Queen d6 is an interesting try, but the queen jumps out on a7. Win the game, come on. Do better than I did. I didn't win the game. I drew. It's sort of a travesty that I drew this game. Queen d7. Very good. Queen d7. White can resign. Exactly, because on d6, all of a sudden, there's knight c6. Game over. Yeah, and it frustrates me that I missed this, actually, because I saw that white had this idea of d6 hitting the queen with tempo and freeing the diagonal. But it never occurred to me to just step out of the tempo. It's like, what? Why didn't I think of this move? I saw the threat. Why didn't I think about this? So after queen d7, white can't do anything. White's just lost. Queen d7 would end the game on the spot. Okay, I played knight c3, which is fine. I'm still winning. d6. Of course he has to play d6, otherwise he's lost. I took it. Queen a7. And here, I thought I saw a tactic, but I didn't. I thought I saw a tactic, but I really didn't. So I thought I was trapping this queen. But it doesn't work for many reasons. I thought this was the game continuation. After bishop c4, taking the a6 square, rook e1 is forced. The rook actually has no other squares. If the rook goes to c1, there's a check. Rook e1, knight c6, hitting the queen. The queen has only one square. Rook b8. I was like, the queen's trapped. A spoiler. The queen's not trapped. This doesn't work even a little bit. First of all, there's queen c5, which is just a square for the queen. And this is what my opponent played. My opponent played queen c5. But second of all, even if there's not queen c5, there's this move bishop f4. And I think this move is a little venomous. And this position is very unclear because there's, all of a sudden, there's like back rank threats against my king. So the most complicated line is knight e2 check, trying to pick off this piece. But after takes, you can't take this. Maybe you can. Did I miscalculate this? I think you can take... Oh, no. So if you take this, then the queen moves, and this is skewered. That's what I calculated. So that is fine for white. You can take on e2, but you'll get this position, and this position may or may not be acceptable. Knight e2, rook takes e2, bishop takes e2. This is fine. I have this. I'm winning. Winning might be strong, actually. I don't know if I'm winning. I'm something. There's this move. Or this move. Probably this move. But here I have rook b2. I think I'm winning in this position. So yeah, after knight e2, rook takes e2. After bishop takes e2, there's queen e3, which wins at least wins the material back. If queen f4, then queen c6. Hold on. Knight e2. Rook e2, queen f4, is black winning here? Oh, Archon, you're right, actually, that's true. I could play like f6. I think black might be winning here. I think I might have miscalculated this in the game. Maybe there's some shenanigans. That's not really a shenanigan, though. Because here I can just take the rook. I have that protected enough times. I think this wins. Maybe bishop f4 is stupid. Because rook e2 I think is forced. Scratch that. Rook e2 is forced. And then after queen f4, I think it's just winning. Because white has too much stuff hanging. Yeah, we can't take the queen there. That's sort of the point. That's why this is confusing. Because if you take the queen, you get mated. No, you don't. There's queen f8. It's very confusing. If you take the queen, then white takes your queen, and then this, and that's the same as the other one. I think this wins. So my opponent played queen c5, which is probably smart because bishop f4 appears to lose by force. And here, I think the position is closing in on equal. Because I have two pieces for rook and pawn, which is vague material equality, and my pieces are really awkwardly placed. They're all on the c file, which means there are some like tactical liabilities for me. The other thing was that I had spent so long calculating this game that I had 9 minutes, and my opponent had 45 minutes. So here I made a practical decision. I just played the ending. And we quickly drew. After f6, I solved my back rank issues. My opponent played king h1. The point behind king h1 is he wants to play rook c1, but right now he can't play rook c1 because knight e2 check. So he plays king h1, and then knight e2 doesn't do anything. We trade pieces here, and after knight e5, rook c1, rook a5. This is just a draw. Here I offered a draw, and my opponent accepted because this is just draw agreed. So yeah, interesting game. I was winning a lot, and then I found a way to not win. And I missed some crucial tactics here. Oops. The first tactic I missed was that in this b3 line, after bishop a6 takes, white is not forced to immediately recapture with the queen. White can go here, and white is just winning. So that was the first tactic I missed. Here, I missed this move, knight e2. It's a good move. I played a similar move, which is, you know, close to as good. b3 takes, castles, d5. Here I missed a couple wins. I missed this bishop a4 win. Bishop a4, rook takes a2, knight a6 just wins. That's pretty simple, actually. I'm annoyed that I missed that. And here, again, I missed this win with queen d7, which is a little bit harder to see, but still not the end of the world, like not the hardest thing to see. I play knight c3, which is still fine. And I actually still have advantage up till this point, where I thought I was trapping the queen, but I just wasn't. So let me ask, what's the best move in this position? Because here's where I really threw away my advantage. But black still has an advantage here. Black just has to play accurately, because black hasn't really played accurately over the past 5 moves and has lost some of his advantage, so it's time to buckle down and play accurate chess. What should black play in this position? I find that these sorts of moves are hard to play and hard to find, at least for me. Any ideas? Knight d5 is the second best move in the position. Knight d5 is a good move. There's a better move. Knight d5 should be good enough for a big advantage. I think the computer evaluated knight d5 at like -2. But there's a better move in this position. Knight a4. What's your idea behind knight a4? I'm waiting for Iago to explain himself. Mwahahaha. So, the best move in this position is knight d7, and I find these moves they're very logical, but it's hard to play in these sorts of positions. In positions that are really messy and tactical, it can be hard to play like a developing and consolidating move. This move is incredibly logical. We develop a new piece, we protect our stuff. It does everything we want from a move. But because you've just been playing really tactically for the past 6 moves and hanging everything, all of a sudden it can be hard to like switch gears and just play this like simple, normal move. The reason why moving this knight is better than this knight is actually doing a really good job stopping white from moving his rooks, because this knight prevents rooks from going to any of these squares. The knight actually tactically defends the c1 square via knight e2 check. So white's rooks like can't move. So this knight is very powerful on c3. So after knight d7, yeah, black just has a big advantage. Black can just keep improving. The computer evaluates this at like -3, which actually surprises me, but maybe it shouldn't. I mean, white's queen is still out of play. White has to spend more time trying to get the queen back into the game. So, yeah, black's just going to keep developing, and his pieces are all good, and white's pieces aren't very good. I should show one other line, which is pretty cool. It doesn't quite work, but I thought it was a cool idea. Where is it? So after d6, I took this pawn, but I did consider playing queen. Oops! I considered playing queen d7, which is interesting. And the point is, after queen f3, which is forced, it's the only square for the queen. I can play bishop d5. And yeah, the queen's a little stuck here. The queen has to go to h5. It's the only square for the queen. And there's a combination that almost works here that I was eyeing up. Say g6, and say white blunders and goes queen h6. Can anyone find the combination that I had in store? h3, g3? Oh, the queen cannot go to h3 or g3. Well, h3 loses as well, actually. On queen h3, it's actually mate in 2. Checkmate. So cute little mate. So queen h5 is forced, and if say white plays queen h6, which is a blunder, I had a little combination in store here that I'd like you guys to find. It's cute. Yeah, I mean, in an actual game, you're A, more invested in the result, and B, you take a lot more time. So I don't blame you for missing, like, not super obvious tactics when A, it wasn't your game, and B, you looked at it for like a minute. So what's my combination here? I had a nice idea lined up. It doesn't actually work, because white doesn't have to play queen h6. But if white does play queen h6, he's going to have a bad time. That's correct. Bishop g2 right away might work as well. Although I don't... Ooh, it might work. Bishop g2 is probably working as well. Yeah, knight at f5. Knight e2 check actually forces mate. Bishop g2, and you have to take it. And now queen g4 or queen f3 mate. Yeah, always go for the forcing line, of course. It's interesting, I didn't consider bishop g2. It might just win here. Actually, I think white might have this move. Rook fe1. And here I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe this just wins. That probably wins. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Ah, but there's this move, queen f4. And maybe I'm holding my life together. Yeah, I think as white I've managed to salvage this position. So we want to go with the more forcing continuation. So that we don't lose. Because here knight e2 check doesn't work because of takes. And if you take this, I take the bishop. And all of a sudden, I've got a pass pawn on d6. Hey, let's go. So yeah, we want to play the more forcing continuation. We're going to start with the check, so that bishop g2 is check, and then we win. Cute little combination. So yeah, I thought this was an exciting game. I thought, yeah, I was happy and unhappy with my calculation. Because I missed a lot of stuff, but I also found a lot of good ideas. So, interesting. Definitely interesting game. I think my opponent played too quickly. He needed to spend more time in this position, because if he fully calculates b3, then he would probably see it's winning. He played pretty quickly through this, which surprised me. It was very sharp. You shouldn't be playing quickly when it's sharp. But yeah, an interesting game, to say the least. I'm going to take... What's my rating? I'm 2050 USCF, so I'm like a lower-end expert. My opponent was also a lower-end expert. He's a little bit higher rated than me, like 2070 or something like that. So a draw wasn't a terrible result, especially as black, but it felt a little bit bad because I knew I was winning at some point in this game, and it felt bad to draw. But at least I didn't go crazy and lose the game, which is something I've done before. So yeah, draw, reasonable result. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and then I'll be right back. And we're back. See you, Sajbat. Nice to have you on the stream always. So I'm gonna go on to some tactics. Actually, I might soon. I might be meeting up with not meeting up with, but talking to something pretentious because we were gonna study something together. I don't know what he had planned. So maybe something pretentious will be on soon. And I actually have no idea what we'll be doing. But in the meantime, we'll do some tactics. And I'm probably going to have to reframe the window. Let's see what the board looks like here. Maybe I have another window for this. I think I do actually. Oops, not that. I do. I forgot about this. I should change my stream title because I'm not on Lichess anymore. So I'm going to do a warm-up set here. I usually do a warm-up set on medium, and then I move on to the harder problems that are hard. Oh, I'm already 5 of 9 through this one. Okay, and the medium problems are usually pretty simple. They usually involve either they're usually very forcing. They usually involve a series of checks or captures that forces material win. So immediately I'm drawn to this check, knight f6 check. The queen is pinned. So after king h8, queen b8 check. The bishop can't block. The queen has to block. That's just mate. Can we see the Caruana Hou Yifan games? I don't know where to get those. And to be honest, I'm not like super interested. I'm sure that chess.com has covered those. So if you're interested in the Caruana Hou Yifan games, go find the coverage on chess.com. Okay. Looks like I'm going to try and promote this pawn. Bishop e7 is a tempo move. It attacks the rook. The rook has nowhere to go on the back rank, but if the rook moves off the back rank, we promote with check, which wins this rook. So say bishop here. The last try is rook here, but after takes, there's rook c8 pinning along the back rank, and the king's on time. I did not consider that move. So when I don't consider something, it makes me pause and reevaluate. Here, if king takes is impossible, rook takes, rook c8, it's just the same actually. That wasn't possible. Yeah. Awesome, Archon. Yeah. If you're interested in the Caruana Hou Yifan games, go to the chess.com homepage because they have apparently a good coverage of the games or a good review of the games. Who won? Caruana or Yifan? Probably Caruana, right? Although Yifan's pretty sharp. I wouldn't be surprised if she was able to swindle one of those. A couple of those, a lot of those. So if I take here, and then take here, and then take there, that's a fork. This is what I'm talking about. The medium puzzles are usually really, really forcing. Ooh, 19.8. Yikes. What program am I using? This is Chessity.com. It does. They have a free trial, but if you want to use it for a long time, it does require a paid membership. I don't know how much it is. I think they've changed their pricing program since I purchased it. But check it out, Chessity.com. It's in the stream title. Okay, this rook is undefended. And this knight is undefended. Queen d3. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to it than that. Queen d3 seems to win a piece. Look at the stream title. The website's there. All right, that's enough warm up. Let's bring out the big boys. Ooh, I have one in progress here. 2 of 9 with 2 strikes. Not doing good. Oh, rook versus pawns. Oh, this is complicated. This is really complicated. Okay. This is incredibly complicated. So, first off, if we promote, we're immediately mated, which is not good. We can check here, but unfortunately this is still a mate threat. So after like check king here, protecting the pawn, there's still a mate threat. Check king here. If I go king d8, just d7 appears to be falling apart. Maybe I can sack my rook for 2 pawns. Let me start with this king b8 line. This is so complicated. King b8, c7 check, king b7, rook a7 check, takes, queens. I'm probably getting mated. This is not good at all. Oh, hold on. On check king here, we promote with check. So the king is not going here. Check, there's 3 squares. King down, I'll actually take this. And I think I'm winning there. King there, same thing, I'll take this. I believe I'm winning. So king here, check king here. And then king b8. No, because then c7 check. This pawn is going to promote, probably with check. Check king here. Getting mated is not good. Pro tip. Rook e4 check. The problem with rook e4 check is after takes, you're not threatening to promote anymore because the rook guards it. I looked at rook e4 check, but after takes, you can't queen. So you're just losing. Like, really losing. Wow, I do not see this. I think it really has to be this check. We need to get some space for this white king. King up. King d1. c7 check. King d7. Rook A8. Oh, everyone's queening. No, that's not true, actually. Check, king here, king D8. On C7 check, king D7, rook A8. I have rook C6 check. And I can take twice on C7 because these pawns will actually be stronger than the rook. So check, king D8, C7 check, king D7. My coordinates are all wrong. This is the white perspective. King E2. You can't play that because I come in. So I think C7 check is not working there. Rook H1 check. It's not even C7. God. Rook H1 check. King D2. C7. No. F2. God. I'm going to start with this check. I see nothing else. Wow! I really don't see any other idea. King G1. I didn't think this worked at all. It says after rook A3 check, king F4. This check? Rook E8 check. So here I was going to play king E1. It says this wins. I didn't think it did. Because of rook E8 check. Totally missed that. Rook E8 check. Didn't consider all my checks. So I thought this just totally lost by force after F2, king D2, rook H2, takes, queen. I evaluated this position as lost. Apparently it's not. You can just take the rook, and you're not lost. I guess it's hard to stop queening. I'll give you that one. It is hard to stop queening. It's hard to stop queening. Yeah, that was tough. that was pretty tough. I don't blame myself for missing that one. All right, let's go again. We'll do a full set because I already had 2 strikes on that one. Okay, what's going on? This is fun fact. This probably came out of a French Tarrasch, if I had to guess. Didn't have to though. Okay, there's a fork here, but it's covered by the bishop. I have horrible dark square weaknesses. White actually has a threat here of going takes, takes, takes. And this is hanging. And I'm up a piece. Okay. So white has 2 threats, and the 2 threats are takes, 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 and just to simply take my knight. So what happens if I take this knight? Just trading off one of the attacked pieces. take the knight, say rook takes, knight a4. Is there a threat? Looks pretty good to me. Yeah, this is a like try and maintain your material puzzle. Takes, pawn takes. There's no threat right here. I guess that no, that doesn't allow rook b7. Any other bishop move gets mated, right? Bishop g7 check, mate. That's pretty clean. That's not the hardest variation in the world. What about rook f8? That can't possibly be right. I'm gonna take this piece. I don't see anything else to do. I'm gonna take this piece. Uh-huh. And now my knight's hanging. So I should probably move it to the only safe square. I feel like this is a trap. I don't see a threat. If I don't see a threat, I'm gonna play it. Okay. That was strange. I don't know why that puzzle is listed as so hard. Maybe people try and flirt, but it's protected? I don't know. Ooh, there are some mating themes here. That's a bishop, that's a knight, that's a rook, that's a queen. What's material like here? We are down 80 pawns. But you're getting mated. Almost certainly you're getting mated. Let's start with checks. Rook e8 check. You take it. Yeah, that didn't really work. Knight h6 check must be taken. Queen g3 check. Queen g5 is forced. And then rook d8. You have king g7. But knight, I'll change the move order. Knight h6 check. No, sorry, I'll start with rook e8. Queen takes. Knight h6. G takes. Queen g3 is just mate. You have to start with rook e8, or else the king has the g7 square. For example, after knight h6 check, g takes, rook e8. I guess king g7 is ridiculous, but if we can mate, we should mate. So rook e8, queen takes, knight h6. I'm just checking this one more time. G takes is totally forced. Queen g3. This square is covered. All these squares are covered. The bishop block does nothing. Yeah, that wins. Okay, we are equal material. Your king side looks extended, to say the least. There's queen a2 on the cards. Okay. So, bishop g6, if a simple recapture, queen g6, Queen h6. Do I have anything there? Am I getting mated? I'm worried I'm getting mated. Queen, let's see, like bishop d6, queen a2. No, the bishop can come back on c2. Rook c2 check, bishop c2. That's pretty safe. So queen a2, and now your queen's under attack. There's this check. Okay, I'm just not seeing how to break through for white. Rook f6 is an idea. And now I'm like really threatening to sack a lot of stuff here. Rook f6, which takes probably. Check, takes. Here I have rook g6, which mates. Because of queen h7. Rook f6, queen a2, queen a1, rook c2, bishop c2, queen a5. It's complicated. Queen a5. I don't want to go king e2 because then there's d3 check, but maybe I just take it and that's not a problem. Okay, after rook f6, can he protect himself? Rook f6, no, bishop f5? No, that just loses. Rook f6, rook d8. No, you lose. It's just rook d8 is interesting actually. Rook d8 because now on takes you have the f8 square. But now okay, rook f6. Check a lot. Rook d8. Takes, check, check. Your king sort of gets out there. Oh god, why is this so complicated? Let me check this one more time. This is more forcing. The problem is now the rooks are opposed on the f-file, which means after rook f6 just gets taken. Ah, but taking sets up a mate threat. So like queen g6, rook f6, takes, there's a mate threat here. Takes, or king h8. Rook f6. takes, pawn takes. Rook or queen, something. Do I have anything there? I don't feel like it. Rook f6, man, that's really slow. Can I take this piece? Then queen takes. What am I doing? Rook f6, rook d8. Maybe then I have bishop takes. Oh yeah. Maybe I should just play b3 and not allow any silliness. Is that too sensible? That might be too sensible. Oh, he's there? Is he in Discord? Okay, this will be my last one, and then I'll go study. Thank you for alerting me, Chad. This is too complicated. B3 is really sensible. That's what I would play in a game. Like, b3 can't possibly be a bad move. Like something like that. I'm going to play b3. That's what I would play in a game. If there's some winning sacrifice combination, so be it. Ooh! Oh, my instincts. My instincts are correct. That feels good. That feels good right there. Trusting your instincts. All right, I'm gonna hop off to do this study thing with something pretentious. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed that game that I played last night. I hope you enjoyed going through it as well. Sorry, Kyle, I can't stay. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys sometimes this weekend.